Namaste, beautiful. Welcome to Advanced Crow and Crane class. So, if you are not yet familiar in your body or at all with crow pose, please start with the beginner class. If you are able to do crow at a beginner level, so with your knees maybe close down to your elbows, and you are trying to get the knees farther up and farther in, this is the place for you. Yeah? So before we begin, please make sure that you are warmed up in the wrists and the shoulders, particularly in the wrists, also in the shoulders. So I have a arm balance warm up that I have made that I will link here, but really warming up the wrists and shoulders is enough for this particular class. Yeah? All right. So I am assuming that you are familiar with beginner crow, as I mentioned. So now we're going into more advanced stuff. Yeah. So let's start with more advanced crow. So we're going to, of course, have our hands about shoulders width distance apart. And we're really making sure when our hands are down that we have our fingers a little bit bent so that we can be putting our weight into the tips of our fingers and into this top part of the hand here. So we're trying to keep too much weight from being on the wrists, right? So we don't want too much weight on this part of the hand. Of course, there's going to be some there, except when you get super advanced and you can like do it on your fingertips. I'm not there yet, so I can't teach you that. Sorry. But if you can do it, go for it, you know? But generally, we want to keep the weight kind of forward so that we are being healthy with the wrist, because we're going quite forward with the shoulders, particularly now that we're bringing the knees up higher. Yeah, so we're bringing the knees up higher. We're probably going to bend our arms a bit less, right? So let's place our hands where they need to be. And then let's start by putting our knees, let's start with them kind of halfway between the elbows and the shoulders, or the elbows and the armpits. Yeah? And so put them there to begin with, right? And then already be leaning forward. And basically, at the time that you can feel the feet want to come off of the floor because you're leaning so far forward, bring them off of the floor. Pull your belly button up toward the ceiling and look forward with the head for balance. Yeah, pull the feet together. Pull the feet up toward the butt. And there you go. That's our medium level. Yep. Now let's move up closer to the armpits, but still keeping the arms a little bit bent. Yeah. Let's try it. So if you have the other one, don't exhaust yourself too much by continuing to try the other one, unless you want to. So that now we can go into a little bit more advanced, if that's what you want to do. Do whatever you want, of course. But yeah. All right. So here we go. So now, to be honest, I kind of find it easier to have my knees closer to my armpits. I find that they stay there better than they do further down the arms. And so that's kind of why, when they're down toward the elbows, it's easier to have the knees out because it's easier for placement than having them, right directly onto the elbow area. Yeah. So when they're up toward the armpits, we can kind of stick them right in the armpits. Yeah. So let's stick them in the armpits first. Place our hands down. Same thing. Shoulders width distance apart. Putting the weight into the front of the hand. And now let's begin to come forward. Yeah. So keeping the arms a little bit bent for now. Coming forward, coming forward, coming forward. Pulling up with the belly button. Looking forward with the head. And then lift the feet. Yeah. And we're keeping our feet together. We're keeping our toes together, our heels together. We're looking forward, pulling up, pulling up, pulling up. Yeah, so we want to have everything engaged. We want to have our legs engaged because we're pulling the feet up. We're pulling up with our abs, right? We're keeping our abs contracted. And of course, obviously, we're balancing on our arms, so we're using our arms by default. We kind of can't not use our arms, right? Okay. So now let's move into cranes, which basically is what we just did. But now we're going to have our arms straight. Yeah? And so now it's kind of more... we want to be now concentrating more on leaning. Because before, when the arms were bent, the arms bent makes us lean, right? So we want to keep this idea of leaning as we were with the arms bent, but now because they're straight, then it's going to be more in the wrists, right? It's going to be more conscious. And finally, it's going to be a bit scarier, yeah? But if you are at this point, he's probably conquered a bunch of fears by now. So, if you fall, it's okay, right? You've probably fallen before, and you've probably learned that it's okay before, yeah? So, let's try to move forward confidently. Be confident. Well, that's important. And with strength. Yeah? Think that you are strong enough and think that you are confident enough. That's important. Yes? Are you thinking it? Thinking that you can do it? Thinking you're strong enough to do it? Thinking that you're confident enough to move forward? All right, let's do it. All right, so nice straight arms now. So, like, when my arms are straight, I like to start with my legs more up, which is not necessarily the proper way, but that's all right. So, now we're kind of like in this forward fold position. We're sticking our armpits, our knees into our armpits, and now we're leaning forward with the straight arms, keeping them straight, and lifting the feet, and bringing the head forward, pulling up in the abs, and looking forward with the head, and beautiful. We did it. Amazing. So, there we go with our advanced crow and crane. If you have any questions, if anything is unclear, please let me know, and I would be happy to do my best to clear it up for you. Otherwise, thank you for being here, for allowing me to guide you with so much love. Namaste.